Welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. I am one of your co-hosts, the captain of anime, Zane Taicho. As always, I'm joined by my fantastic host, the Gentlemanly Gamer.
They get better every week, I swear. They get better every week. Hello, everyone in Radio Land. It is I, the Gentlemanly Gamer. Good evening to you. Zane, how are you doing? Are you all right? Thank you for describing me as one of your co-hosts.
Did I say that?
Yes.
I guess it's no secret that I do another podcast. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Undisputed Anime.
Oh, God. Here we go. God, you started off early, didn't you? Jesus
I know,
Christ.
yeah.
We haven't even got into the...
Shooting from the hip already.
Yes, he has another very popular podcast called Undisputed Anime, which, he's going to support till his death. Anyway. Let's not get off on the wrong foot here, Zane, honestly. We've got a fun-filled show ahead of us.
We do.
We've got lots coming up. How's your week been, my friend? Have you been out and about in the world, seeing things? I believe you've been watching a lot of stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I have actually. A lot of anime because it's the spring and there's been a whole new catalogue of new anime that's just been released. I've also been catching up on some movies. Like I watched Blade Runner 2049.
Wait, you've not seen that already?
I hadn't, no. It's been on my watch list for years.
It is a tour de force of beauty, that one, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Mixed feelings.
It's because it's slow, that's why. Zane doesn't like anything that's not wham bam crash wallop. He is the epitome of a Zack Snyder child.
I guess I am, actually.
You are.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm that audience that Michael Bay.
Yes, that is exactly it. Yeah. If Michael Bay and Zack Snyder had a love child, it would be you. That is exactly what you were like. Yes. I adored Blade Runner 2040, but then I'm a huge fan of the original Blade Runner as well. And the game. Not enough people know about there was like a point and click game of Blade Runner where
really?
You could so you played like another Blade Runner, like another guy who was hunting down replicants. And but they could kill you. They could find you and they could kill you, and you had to shoot them and stuff. So there was an action element to it. But it was amazing. It was they spent so much. It was like Virgin Media Entertainment back in the day when Virgin Media were dabbling in everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really, really good. So if you can get it on the PC, guys out there, it's very old now, but the Blade Runner game, I highly recommend it.
There's an anime that came out last winter, I think, called Black Lotus. Yeah, so I might check that out as well.
Oh, I thought that was going to be something to do with Blade Runner, but no, it was any excuse to shoehorn in Undisputed.
No, it's Blade Runner. It's called Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Sorry. Well, in that case,
a Blade Runner anime.
I take back my statement, and I just show you my love and support. We're only 5 minutes into the podcast, and we're already at each other. Honestly, what's going on? What's going on this week? It's summer. The summertime is kicking in, and the heat is rising, my friend. That's what it is.
We're worse than Moon Knight.
I went out today, Zane. Actually, I'll tell you something that I did do this week.
Yeah.
I went out today. Finished a little early from work because, I worked a bit of overtime this week, so I thought, why not? And I went and bought this. For those of you who can't see, it's X-Men Inferno.
Nice.
Which is the follow-on to House of X, Powers of X, I believe, written by Hickman. I am looking forward to that. I'm going on holiday this weekend as well. Going away for a little weekend break with the wife. And I will be reading. I've got that, and I've also got Immortal Hulk Omnibus Volume 2. Yeah.
Oh boy.
First one. Yeah, this bad boy. Hang on. Fill some time. Look at this. It's massive. Look at that. Look how big it is.
That's a big boy.
Look, it's the size of my nose. It's literally the size of my nose. It's massive. And I got a big nose, folks. So yeah. Anyway, those are the things I will be... This week, I have mostly been reading, and will be reading those. I got through Shang-Chi as well. the definitive Shang-Chi, which only a quarter of the book was actually about stories for Shang-Chi.
Yeah, hopefully the second half of that trade will be coming out soon, because they've already announced like a change of writers and it's a new arc in the series.
Which series?
Shang-Chi in the weekly.
Oh right. Oh, I see.
Weekly series.
Yes, got you. Yeah, this was like the book I've got is like so it's like all the classic stories of Shang-Chi, you know, before they decided to show him some love and care. Although I will say, like, they did a Secret Wars, so you know when they did like Secret Wars Battle World, that thing with like Doctor Doom, like
the
having
2016 one, I think.
Yeah, exactly that one. They did a Shang-Chi Secret Wars like segment of it. And it's really good. It was really good. Like, that's the best story in there easily, because it's like he's like they don't use his original father. I think it might be where they got some of the idea for the film from, actually, because they don't use his original, his original dad, which we won't bring up on the show because it's not a very PC thing. It's quite offensive. They've taken this like nondescript kind of emperor-esque figure. And then Shang-Chi kind of he's been outcast from the land because his dad is basically a bad guy and has made him try and kill people. And it's kind of similar to what it was in the film. And then he has to go back because his dad is basically threatening a bunch of people who don't deserve it. This is in Kunlun. So they have this tournament, which is like the 13 Masters of Kunlun. And it's... It basically, one of the people in the tournament is that, so because it's Battle World, it's all the things mixed together. So one of the masters, for example, is Iron Fist. So there's the school of Iron Fist. One of the masters is Black Panther. There's a school of Black Panther. So he fights through like these 13 stages to get to his dad so that he can finally stop him.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was really good, actually. I have to say, like that's like the later half of the definitive book, and it's excellent. And it's interesting because you can kind of see almost where they got some of the ideas, I think, for Shang-Chi the movie, where it's like this the outcasting of this like the Emperor's son being outcast, and then it's a classic tale, but like it fit really well. So yeah, some of definitive Shang-Chi was good. The rest of it was just like, oh, Logan's a bit sad and he needs Shang-Chi to help him. Okay, good.
That's a parent I never imagined.
It's a bit of a mixed bag, let's be honest, but there you go. Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing this week, Zane?
This week we are going to have a little fun discussion about some of the MCU casting that almost happened.
He got so excited that he literally fumbled over himself thinking about what Ben Affleck was almost cast as. Yeah, but Zane, did you know that I love to surf?
No, I didn't.
I know, it's amazing. You'd never believe it looking at me, but I am an avid surfer. Not of the sea, though. Oh, no. I am a surfer of the World Wide Web, my friend. And let me tell you something. When I go surfing, I definitely need some protection. Not the usual kind of wetsuit, though. I need some VPN. Do you know what VPN means, Zane?
I don't. What's a VPN?
Well, it would be a virtual private network. And let me tell you, we here at Undisputed Nerds are being sponsored this week. And a big thank you to the episode sponsor, Surfshark VPN. You can get Surfshark VPN 83% off and 3 months free, Zane, if you go to surfshark.deals/Undisputed Nerds and enter in the promo code Undisputed Nerds. Surfshark VPN lets you trick your device into thinking it's in another country, which opens up a whole world of content library, Zane. So think about it this way. If you're in the UK, you can watch US Netflix, which has a far bigger selection of movies. You can get all of your Batfleck content that I know you love, Zane. I know you're looking for. If you're outside of the UK as well, you can watch amazing apps like BBC iPlayer. And if you're in the US, you can finally get access back to the old WWE Network with its far superior functionality. We've been using, me and Zane have been using Surfshark here at Undisputed Nerds for a while. It is our official VPN, and it doesn't just let us gain access to all the comic book movies, but it also secures our networks by encrypting internet traffic, keeping our location and download history private. thankfully, so that people can't see me purchasing wetsuits. My favorite feature on the Surfshark, it knows when my phone leaves a trusted connection, like my home or work internet, and it immediately turns on to prevent interference. It's like having, I don't know, Batfleck's Justice League for your phone, Zane.
I know exactly what you mean.
And I know you've got a lot of Batfleck on your phone right now. So sign up to Surfshark today by using our link in the video description below, surfshark.deals/Undisputed Nerds, where you'll get, again, 83% off and your first 3 months free if you use the code Undisputed Nerds. We really appreciate if you just at least check them out, as they're a great company and we love working with them. Support Undisputed Nerds and support your internet privacy with Surfshark. Before all that, Zane, we obviously have our regularly recurring segments. So, should we just get straight into it? Should we just say, this week, what is all the rage with Nicolas Cage?
And it was one of those nights, do you ever have one of those nights where you feel like the mojo was with you and you knew you could just do nothing wrong, that everything was going to go your way?
Oh, Nick, I feel like that every night, baby. Thank you very much for saying it. All right, for those of you who have joined us for the first time this week, this is our deep dive into the amazing life of Nicolas Cage, an actor we all love and admire, and frankly, he's a big old weirdo sometimes. So this goes through some of the things that he's done. So, Zane, I'm going to read you out the headline of the weird fact, and then we're going to go into it. Are you ready?
Hit me with it.
All right. Whilst filming Vampire's Kiss, he ate live cockroaches, and it was his idea to do it.
What?
So in the film Vampire's Kiss, which is about Nicolas Cage thinking he's becoming a vampire after being bitten by a bat, Nicolas Cage in this he's playing a character called Peter Lowe. He eats a cockroach. It's shown on screen. It's very cringeworthy. And by Cage's own admission, it's something he did to try and get on the map, because it was in 1988 that this film was done. As a calculated on-screen move, eating the cockroach was his idea and something the director made him do more than once. According to director Robert Bierman, the script originally called for the character to eat a raw egg. Cage and Bierman decided an egg wasn't extreme enough, so Cage told Bierman, "The thing I hate most in the world are cockroaches. They are my room 101. So let me eat a cockroach." As Bierman explained, he wanted to eat the most frightening thing for him. "I thought, this is terrific. I sent my prop people down to the boiler room. They brought me a box, divided it up into little sections with tissue paper. The cockroaches were then lined up for me to cast. I think they're actually called water bugs. They're bigger than cockroaches." Cage called it one of the most disgusting, horrible memories of anything he's done on the set of a movie.
Wow.
So, Nicolas Cage was hungry for fame at a young age, Zane. So hungry that he devoured some cockroaches. Bearing in mind all we know about the man, are you surprised by this?
A little bit. I mean, knowing his love for animals, I'm surprised. But as you say, little Nicky was hungry for fame. He was willing to experiment and push the boundaries when it came to...
If you've seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, little Nicky made him do some deeply disturbing things, didn't he?
Absolutely. I wonder if he was inspired by Ozzy Osbourne. If this was like the 80s, maybe. Like the story of Ozzy biting off the head of a bat sort of thing.
Yes, quite possibly. Yeah, that could be where it came from. But as we all know, I'm sure when he ate the cockroaches, he then afterwards said, Nicolas Cage smooches good. And for those of you who haven't seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, go and watch it. It's brilliant. So there you go. That has been this week's What's All the Rage with Nicolas Cage, cockroach eating friend of the show. So, Zane, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
What's our next segment, buddy?
The next segment of the show Gigi is a reporter, a news hound when he's not doing his everyday job. And just like at the Daily Bugle, he's whipped around and got some news for us. So it's time for...
Bits, tips and bits. Come on, everybody. It's tips and bits. There you go. All right, I do this every week. I've segmented it up into Marvel, DC, and other. So which do you want first, Tiger?
Let's go DC. I'm always looking forward to DC.
You want to go with a bit DC? All right, beautiful. So, some really interesting stuff coming out of DC this week. I'm not going to go into the details of it. I told you before the show I wasn't going to, but I am going to bring it up just slightly. Ezra Miller, he's been a very bad boy again. We all know the details. If you want to know what's happened, just type in Ezra Miller Miami and you can see all the information regarding it. However, there was a rumor this week that apparently Warner Brothers was considering replacing Ezra Miller as Barry Allen with the Love and Monsters actor Dylan O'Brien.
I had heard this.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, Warner Brothers has since come out and have told the reporter who initially reported it, who I believe was Variety's Adam B. Right. He's posted Adam Bivari, that's his name, Adam Bivari, sorry, from Variety. He has posted the following on Twitter. I'm told that Warner Brothers is not, and that's in parentheses, considering replacing Ezra Miller on The Flash. Miller was arrested twice in Hawaii this year. Sorry, not Miami, Hawaii. Once for disorderly conduct and harassment, and again for second-degree assault. And then they've got the context of it. So, looks like Warner Brothers is still sticking by bad boy Ezra Miller. Thoughts on the furore that came out of the possibility of him being replaced, and a lot of people seeming to be quite positive about it?
Yeah, so funny enough, I was just trying to do a quick Google because it's reminded me that off the back of that, a lot of fans were saying they'd rather see, is it Dylan O'Brien? Did you say Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, sorry. A lot of fans were saying that they'd rather see him in a Nightwing role to opposed to being in a Barry Allen role. And then there was another sort of outcry for, I can't remember the actor's name, but he played as Havoc in X-Men First Class. Oh,
yes, I know the guy. Yeah. I think he'd be good as Wally, though. I don't think he'd be good as Barry. His facially speaking, comparing it with the comic books, the guy who played Havoc, who you're right, I can't remember what his name was, but like he's much more Wally West looking to me than he is Barry Allen. Do you not agree?
I don't know, because he's got the whole blonde hair look and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong,
Barry's
a box of hair. He is in New 52.
Oh my. Okay. All right. I don't know why we're talking about recasting at this point. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of Flashes. Like, just, it's a multiverse. Have it be Bart Allen. Have it be Wally West. It's not a big deal. Like, just recast it. It's not a big deal. Just get over it. So yeah, Ezra Miller needs to just. I mean, I think his time as the Scarlet Speedster should be up personally, but that's
agreed.
Just me. That's just me. Would you like me to move on to the next bit of DC news, buddy? Whilst you're.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a picture, but I can't. So go ahead.
All right, fair enough. So this one's going to be a big one for you, Zany baby. So we talked about it a little bit earlier on, but your favourite director in the whole universe, Zack Snyder.
Okay. Yeah.
So they nabbed an Oscar this year for it was a fan favourite Oscar for Justice League and Army of the Dead, but the Wrap is reporting that the voting system that was set up through Twitter may have been rigged by Twitter bots putting their support behind Snyder. They've shared data from a hashtag analytics tracking tool and found that the most active contributors to both polls were autonomous web programs, which cast thousands of fake votes for the popular filmmaker's two movies. Now, whilst it's not definitive, there are other indications that the vote was rigged by some hashtag release the Snyder Cut and hashtag restore the Snyderverse fans, including an odd jump in the number of votes. Neither the company that ran the poll nor Snyder's representatives have responded to requests for comments, though the Academy plans to stand by the results. So, Zane, controversially speaking, Zack Snyder's movies may not be as popular as we once thought. What are your thoughts, Zane?
That is wild, to say the least. I guess it's that old sort of... Here's a great callback. You know the story about when Jason Todd, DC were planning to kill Jason Todd, and they had the phone line, and fans called in to say they did want to see him perish. And there's like, I don't know if you heard about it, but there's this old rumor that someone set up a calling machine that just redialed.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's an urban legend that this machine was set up to redial the same number consistently so that Jason Todd would, but yeah, it sounds like a similar...
It was close, that vote. That vote was really close, that Jason Todd dying thing. Like, that was like, it was like 50, it was like, you know, it's like the Brexit vote was 51-49. Like, it was really close. Like, he almost lived. So, if I think they did say if he had have won the survival vote, then he would have just been badly beaten and wouldn't have been Robin again. But like, yeah, it's wild, isn't it? That's crazy. So yeah, there you go. So Zack Snyder, maybe he set up the bots. You never know. Maybe he's doing it. You know, it's like Army of the Dead is the most popular film. Really? Okay, fine.
I'm trying to think what else was on that list, because I swear, wasn't it like it wasn't Into the Spider-Verse, because that was...
Spider-Man No Way Home was on it.
That's what was on it, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, there's no way. Sorry, there's no way. It's got to be rigged. All right, so Zany Boy, we've got... I've drained up the DC news, so other or Marvel?
Let's go Marvel.
Marvel's pretty much all Doctor Strange, as one would expect, following on from this week. So... Right, so I'm going to try and shove a bunch of news in together. Okay. So, first bit of news, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It has got off to a great start. Worldwide, it is now officially past the 500 million mark.
Wow.
That is pretty quick for a film like this.
Yeah.
So this is credit to Kitesh Pandya on Twitter. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness broke the 500 million global box office mark last night. Domestically, it's made $213 million, so that's in America. Internationally, it's made $294 million to a grand total of $507 million worldwide. Coming off the back of that, there's been a lot of Doctor Strange news. One of the writers of Doctor Strange, Michael Waldron, he was asked this week about... he was asked by Vanity Fair regarding America Chavez. And the fact that the character has the unique ability to punch through different realities, and spoiler alert, that she manages to gain a pretty solid control over her power by the time all is done. However, it kind of felt like the beginning of her story rather than the end. So there was a question asked to Michael Waldron about what's the deal with America? Are we going to see more of her? What's going to happen with her? And his direct quote, as far as her story and everything, was as follows. That's definitely me collaborating with Marvel and with Sam about her powers. So really, that's as much about trying to drive America's story in this film as it is attempting to set up a mystery to be solved in the future. She's somebody without a family, and that's what she's searching for. And that's what she finds, surprisingly, in our Doctor Strange and Wong. She finds a home in Kamar-Taj at the end. When it's all said and done, it looks kind of tidy. We also set up the next chapter of the America Chavez story. So getting into the real specificity of her with her parents came a little bit later in the process. It felt, at least to me initially, that maybe we should hold some of that back. It felt like the sort of stuff you'd rather answer when you're getting into America's solo outing. But as we continue to build the story, we find we wanted to know more about her. So he basically let slip that the plans are, it looks like the plans are for there to be a America Chavez solo outing. Not confirmed whether it's film or TV yet. Thoughts on that? And would you be excited to see that?
Yeah, because it's hopefully more multiverse travel. It's got to be TV. I could TV seems the right fit to kind of explore that to me personally, and then you do like your new Avengers or Young Avengers as a movie, they all come together sort of thing. Because we know Kate Bishop's background now. It just feels like the logical sort of roadmap.
I agree completely. So whilst we're talking about Michael Waldron, he obviously in that same interview with Variety, he was also asked about the Multiverse of Madness and obviously why certain members of the Illuminati weren't in it. So for example, he wanted to have Tom Cruise in the Illuminati, but he did. Yeah. It just never came together. They also asked him about Namor, and his response was extremely interesting. Yeah. So the interviewer for Variety said, "Why didn't you include Namor?" And he said, "We talked about it because he's certainly an original member of the Illuminati, but I think Marvel has other plans for him in the MCU, and so he didn't make his way into this particular movie." Now, there's been a lot of rumors about Namor appearing in Wakanda Forever and having the Battle of Atlantis versus Wakanda. This seems to lend some credence to that, in that Marvel didn't want to use him in this to introduce him because they're probably going to introduce him in Wakanda Forever. Would you have liked to have seen Namor in the Illuminati, or do you think it would have been overdrive as far as what we got with them?
That's a great question. Yeah, I don't think he would have added much. And I guess the worst part is you don't want your big reveal to be there and then you're off screen within the first 5 minutes of your red carpet moment. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you completely on that one. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited. I'm Wakanda Forever is one of those ones where it's like there's just no details about it, and I'm really excited to know what's going on about it.
So many questions hanging around it at the moment.
Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. So just trawling our way through some more of this Marvel Doctor Strange news, just quickly. It was revealed this week in an interview with BBC Radio 1, Benedict Cumberbatch turned down a previous Marvel role. Did you hear this, Zane? You've got that smirk on your face. Which was the role he turned down, Zaney baby?
Malekith.
Malekith, correct. The Dark Elf from Thor the Dark World. Very interesting comment he said, because he said, "I was bold enough to say I'd rather hold out for something a bit more juicy. I wasn't really part of the conversation until it came back to me through representatives that they were interested." From what we can gather about Christopher Eccleston's experience as Malekith, which was extremely negative, he probably made the right call. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and I guess it didn't help matters, with Patty Jenkins leaving the project as well, because they had to change directors and all sorts with that movie. So, I think he dodged a bullet there.
I think so. It's worked out pretty well for him now.
Yeah, I've always thought like him as Doctor Strange was really early, like maybe even before that, but no, I guess not.
No, like Doctor Strange didn't come on the scene until certainly after Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Because that Thor Dark World was before Age of Ultron.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, blimey.
Because that's when he has his vision about all the Infinity Stones and stuff, doesn't he? In the pool, it's sexy Hemsworth. It is in the pool
where what's his face just has to watch him flail around in the pool. For a bit.
Who is it? Stellan Skarsgård, or whatever his name is.
Yeah. It's the Skarsgård dad.
It's Papa Skarsgård. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Papa Skarsgård. So, moving on to the last bit of Doctor Strange Marvel news this week. So, Sam Raimi, he's been doing the rounds. He was interviewed by the LA Times, And he was asked about his thoughts on No Way Home. Obviously, Sam Raimi directed the original trilogy of Spider-Man. So he was asked what he thought about No Way Home. And his response is very interesting. So he said, I loved No Way Home. I thought it was a complete audience thrill ride. I agree. The crowd I was with were oohing and ahhing, and it had great heart to it. It was great seeing my old friends again. He went on to say, I love Spider-Man, and I love Tom Holland in the role. However, if I was to make another Spider-Man movie, it would probably have to be with Tobey, or he'd break my neck.
Wow.
So, could this be an indication that Raimi is lobbying to direct Spider-Man 4? I don't think so, but it's interesting that he's like putting those little breadcrumbs out there. I think you and I at the Undisputed Nerds, we're all wanting to see Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Garfield.
Absolutely.
Thoughts on another Maguire movie? Do we need another Maguire movie, Zane?
I don't think we do. I know there are people asking for it. Obviously, there was a storyboard and stuff put together for Spider-Man 4. But yeah, I'm that trilogy to me is complete. Like, it doesn't need anything more.
I agree.
But Amazing Spider-Man 3 needs everything.
Yes, it does. It definitely needs the incredible Sinister Six that's going to be created from Morbius and Vulture. And obviously
El
Kraven the Hunter.
Muerto.
Yeah, El Muerto and Kraven. Yeah, exactly. What a lineup. God, you know exactly what you're doing, Sony. Right, so that's the end of the Marvel news this week. So then we get on to the other news. Very interested to get your take on this one, because I'm super excited about it, but I gather you're not necessarily excited about it. So Doctor Who, Russell T Davies is taking over the production of Doctor Who as showrunner. He has announced who will be playing the 14th Doctor. It is the sex education breakout star Ncuti Gatwa is going to be the 14th Doctor. I personally think this is an amazing choice, and I'm super excited about it. Your thoughts, Zane? I'm sensing some not as excitement from you.
Well, I'm more interested than excited, because I've been excited for previous roles before, and they haven't really lived up to my own expectations. And that's not a reflection.
Come on, give us the dirt on that. You've got to give us the dirt on that. Give us an example.
Capaldi.
Really? You didn't like Peter Capaldi as Doctor Who?
I liked the first episode, and I went into it thinking he's going to be a sort of angry old man, similar to the first Doctor, maybe even a little Pertwee, where he's not necessarily angry, but he has like a how do I say it, like a strong approach about him.
Yeah, they flipped him, because it was I think what they tried to do was with Matt Smith, they had a very the youngest Doctor ever, and he played it very old. And with Capaldi, they had the oldest Doctor, and he played it very young. And I'm not sure if I will just say, did you see the last season of Capaldi's run?
I think so. Is that the one
with
where
Bill?
Yes, where he's like trapped in, and he punches through the ice every time he kind of.
That I don't think that was the last season with Bill. That is the best episode that he did, by the way. That episode is incredible. Like, that's oh god, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that is a tour de force. His last series with Bill was really good, and unfortunately, it came at a time when so many people had given up on him because the writing was not good for his series at all. It's the same with Jodie Whittaker. Actually, Jodie Whittaker's really good, but it's just writing's been poo.
Yeah, it's absolutely pants. Yeah. I did watch it because it's where he's a teacher at the university as well, isn't it?
That's the first episode, I think, but it's not. That doesn't stick.
Oh, right.
That's only for a little. He's watching over the Master.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's locked in a thing.
And then Johnson came back.
Yes. Have you watched it? It was really good.
Yeah, I did watch it. It was ages ago, but yeah.
It was it Heaven Sent? I think that's the episode that we were talking about with the where he kills himself all over like spends like 2 billion years in there or whatever it is. Right, that's a question for you. Yeah, does that it is Heaven Sent? Does that technically mean, right, that if he spent like 1 billion years in that time vortex thing, just getting cloned over and over again, does that technically mean that he's 1 billion years old now?
Quite possibly. I don't know if you knew this, but there's a really kind of funny interview from years ago. I want to say it's with Tom Baker on like Parkinson, and
Right.
he mentions like the age of the Doctor, like right up to the 50th anniversary, and
Okay.
they've always matched based on that interview. So when it was what's his face, when it was Matt Smith, like he says, I'm like 500
Yeah,
years old
900
or
and whatever. Yeah.
yeah. It's always matched back to that interview, which is really weird, but an amazing like little continuity thing.
That can't be right now, because he spent like 300 years on Trenzalore, didn't he, with Matt Smith?
Yeah, now it's...
Interestingly, though, the two voted on Doctor Who TV, the two best episodes of the Capaldi era are Heaven Sent, and then the finale of Capaldi, the Cybermen, the Mondasian Cybermen, of the Bill series. Yeah. Those are the two best episodes that he ever did. And I agree. Like the last series of Capaldi's run does not get enough love. It's a real shame. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm excited to see what the new. I think you're right. I don't think I would be as excited if Russell T Davies wasn't coming back.
It's the Russell T Davies element, yeah.
It's the coupling of the two, because he's done this before, where he's taken Doctor Who when it was basically poop, and then he's gone. Okay, well, I'll get a big star back like Christopher Eccleston, because Christopher Eccleston was a big time deal getting him. But then second season, I would argue that, like, with the exception of Casanova, people didn't really know who David Tennant was.
Absolutely,
he was very unknown, and like he is universally renowned as like probably people's favorite Doctor ever. And then you look at people like Matt Smith, who came on after that. Matt Smith was amazing, and he was definitely completely unknown. Jodie Whittaker was not unknown. She'd done a lot of big time work before, including Broadchurch. This guy, I'm super excited about it, because like he's basically an unknown. Like, he's been in Sex Education, and that was it. He's not even the main guy in Sex Education,
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I'm trying to push my exuberance onto you.
No, I feel it. I am more excited for Russell T Davies to be back and see what he's got to say.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think the first thing he's going to do is probably just take it straight away from any of this stuff with the what is it, the secret child or whatever they call it? What do they call it? What do they call the Doctor?
I can't remember, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, that
Chibble really effed the bed with that one. Est the bed, I should have said. Didn't F the bed. That's never mind. Ignore that. Right, the final bit of news this week, Zane. Ahsoka, it has started filming. It's on its way. Cool. Rosario Dawson is obviously returning as Ahsoka. We've got Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn confirmed to be in the show. However, there's a rumor being shared by StarWarsNews.net that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actor Matthew Law, now you may not remember him, but he played Agent Julian. I think it was in season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that. Anyway, he's a very handsome man.
Right.
He's apparently landed a massive role in this series, following up from Rebels. He's a relative unknown. Now, the reason why I bring this up is, what the hell could he be possibly playing in this season? He is so Matthew Law is he's a black actor. He's, like I said, he's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm trying to think of who he could be in the series that we might know and love, because I was thinking, maybe possibly Kanan Jarrus, possibly, but then doesn't really fit the mold of it.
Yeah.
So then who else could he be in the series? So far, alongside Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano, we've got Natasha Louis Bordizzo as Sabine Wren. Hayden Christensen is confirmed as Anakin Skywalker.
Fantastic.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ivana Sanko, Ray Stevenson is in this. Apparently, Lars Mikkelsen is not returning as Thrawn, so I don't know who's going to be Thrawn in it. But Mina Massoud is still, who played Aladdin in the live-action version of Aladdin, is the fan favorite pick for Ezra Bridger. Certainly my favorite pick as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who this guy could be. Like, possibly, I was thinking maybe a bounty hunter, maybe, or... But if it's someone from, like, Rebels, I don't know who it could be. What are your thoughts, Zane? Have you got any bright ideas on this one? Speculation run rampant.
I'm thinking it's... First one that came to mind, I'm trying to remember their name, but there was like a purple monster... Well, not monster, purple alien that was part of the crew for Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Oh, God. What's his name? Every time I think about it, I just want to say oh my God, my brain has gone completely numb. The little robot.
It's called Chopper.
Chopper, that's it. The little arse Chopper. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
because there's Hera Sibib Chopper.
Okay, let's go through. So there's Ezra Bridger, Hera Syndulla, Sabine Wren, Kanan Jarrus, Zeb Aurelius. That's the bad boy. Yes, played by Steve Blum in the series. Yes. It could be. Maybe he's Zeb. Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
I'm just trying to think of like Rebel episodes really.
There's Agent Kahless as well, but I don't know. Unless
I'm thinking the officer who works with the Inquisitors. He has like mutton chops, like huge mutton chops.
Yeah, I think that's who I was. Agent Kahless. I think that's the guy I was talking about.
Oh, that is. Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know, man. I think Agent Kahless might be white in the show. That's the only thing I was thinking of.
But I think he's got a black voice actor.
He does. He definitely does. Yeah. That's correct. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not necessarily hung up on the side of race that just cast the best actor that they can for it. But, I don't know with this. It's hard. It's hard to think. Of course, we're just assuming it's going to be somebody who's continuing on from Rebels. It could be a completely new character. There's no way to it. But this guy apparently is a big deal. Like, he's going to be a big deal in this, and he's going to be on. We're talking same level like casting as like Rosario Dawson situation, like that big. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But it's a hell of a cast listing so far. I can't wait for Ahsoka, man. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good.
I saw a post the other day where there was a fan casting for, you remember in Spider-Man Homecoming, and the actress who played Liz?
Yes.
There was a fan cast for her to play as a young Ahsoka. And I was like,
yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be really good.
Actually quite good. Yeah.
Like Padawan era Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be good. Like, you look at this cast listing, man, for Rebels, and you realise how popular... Like, Jesus, some of the names in this. Obviously, you had Freddie Prinze Jr. Jason Isaacs was the first Inquisitor. Like, for those of you who don't know who Jason Isaacs is, he's a movie star. He's been in loads of things. He was most recently in Star Trek Discovery. He was the captain in the first series of Discovery. You got Lars Mikkelsen in it. James Earl Jones obviously came back. Warwick Davis was in it. Gina Perez was in it. Tom Baker was in Rebels.
Yeah.
Brent Spiner, otherwise known as Data, was in it. Sam Witwer was in this.
Sam Witwer.
He is Starkiller.
Yes.
From the games. Yeah. He played Palpatine in this.
He plays as Maul as well, doesn't he? He does all the Darth Maul voice acting.
Yeah, he does all the Darth. Oh man, they need to use more. They really need to use more. I was thinking about that the other day. I would love to see. I just want to see like a live action fight of like Palpatine versus Maul, like they did in the Clone Wars series. I would love to see that. But yeah, I mean they do have a track history with this, because obviously Katie Sackhoff is Bo-Katan, and she's appeared in The Mandalorian as Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's good. Oh, well, let speculation run rampant. Write into us, guys. Let us know who you think this guy's been cast as in Rebels. There's probably someone we've completely overlooked, but let us know. And that's it for the news this week, buddy. That's all I got. So
yeah, cool.
Write in and let us know if there's anything I missed. I'm sure you will, guys.
Shall we jump into some MCU castings?
You can jump into whatever you want of mine, Zane.
Let's have a look at this. So this article comes...
Yeah? Sorry, I was going to say, this is castings that they are these characters that have appeared in the MCU but were almost somebody else.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this is similar. This is not the same as our fan castings.
This is not a fan casting. No.
We wanted like my amazing casting of Sam Rockwell as Doctor Strange. This is not like that. This is This is something else. Okay, all right.
So MCU castings that almost happened. Now this, as you can see, comes from comicbook.com, written by Jenna Anderson. So thank you for this amazing article. But as we all know, and as we've speculated over the last couple of months, Tom Cruise was almost Iron Man.
Pre-MCU.
Pre-MCU. It's such a weird sort of thing to try and imagine now, isn't it? 10 years on.
It's so hard to imagine this. Like, I can't... I find it hard to imagine a time when Tom Cruise wasn't like looked upon as like a kind of weird. No, I'm serious. Like, there was a time when Tom Cruise was really cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a time when he was like, oh yeah, this guy's amazing. This guy's an A-list movie star, cool. And now it's kind of, he's still an A-list movie star, but like, it's just a bit strange. But like, I can't, I don't think he's got, the thing about it is, right, is that it wouldn't have worked, I don't necessarily think. I think it would have been funny to see him in Doctor Strange, because it would have been like a nice little like, oh, hello, oh, I see what they did there. But like, I don't think he's got the charming snark that you need to be Tony Stark, and that's not a limerick I thought I would create in my head, but then it happened. But do you know what I mean? Downey Jr. is just so stupidly charismatic with this. Like, it's What do you think on that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, there's a certain level of like arrogance, but it's charming at the same time, and it is the sort of RDJ effect, isn't it? Like, he lives this kind of rock star lifestyle in the movie, and you just want to see more of it. And then at the same time, there's this thing that he does where he builds a suit and, you know, tinkers with cars at the same time. It's just hard to imagine like Tom Cruise having that same effect. Like, maybe Tom Cruise, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like other sort of Tom Cruise films that are his charms more focused on. Like, isn't there Cocktails or something? Like, yeah, exactly. Where he makes drinks.
I just you know, that famous scene where Tony Stark slides into his lab and his socks and his pants, you know, just to the music in the background. And then the guy just hits him, the little robot arm hits him in the face. I just can't picture this. Like, there's that. I just no.
Even like Tropic Thunder level of like Tom Cruise, where he's like,
yeah, but he's just an a-hole in that.
Well, yeah.
No, it definitely wouldn't have worked. Although so what you're saying is he's fit into a fat suit in Tropic Thunder, so he could fit into an Iron Man suit.
All I'm saying is, like, I never knew Tom Cruise had that level of performance when it came to Tropic Thunder.
Listen, he's a consummate professional, and
that's true.
Anyone who says differently of him will hear from his lawyers.
Or him. He can fly a helicopter now. Like,
oh, that's true, yeah.
He's unstoppable.
Yeah, apparently I was talking to a friend, a mutual friend of ours on the show, and a sometimes host who might be coming back soon, Rinsler, and he was telling me that apparently the shots for Top Gun Maverick, apparently that's them the only way they could film that in the cockpit is them actually flying the planes and learning how to record on a mini camera whilst they're flying the planes.
So I heard a similar thing. Like, apparently Tom Cruise actually learned how to fly, and some of the footage is of him flying, like you said, in the cockpit sort of thing. But I don't know if they did that with all the actors.
Can I just ask you, right? If you were, everyone always talks about how impressive it is that Tom Cruise does his own stunts and stuff and learns all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you had, more money than God, would you not just spend some of your time on like things that you're interested in doing and maybe learning that for your job? Would you not do that?
Some things that you're interested in doing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the man's obviously got an interest in learning to fly a plane.
I know, but if you're getting paid millions of dollars, why would you not do? Like, it's just when people go, "Oh my god, like he's amazing. He does all his own stunts, and he's gone out of his way to learn how to fly a plane." I'm like, yeah, he's getting paid to do it. I'd love to do that. That'd be great. Give me money to learn how to fly a plane. That would be fantastic. Instead of me paying someone to take flying lessons. Oh, I'd love that.
But I mean, just to flip reverse it, when it came to Tom Hardy for Dunkirk, he said they just had like this weird little, contraption that they would like almost hang off a cliff to give the backdrop effect of him.
Well, I mean, it is slightly different though, isn't it? It's like, I mean, Tom Cruise is flying a fighter jet that is the cutting edge military technology, and Tom Hardy was required to fly what I can only assume was a Spitfire from like 1940s. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to fly one of those, with fear of it falling apart with a newborn child on the way,
And another Venom movie in the pipework.
Of course, obviously. You couldn't let down Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. And Sony.
Yeah, that's all right. Sony could have pieced together a movie from all the stuff they put out in the trailers. Anyway, all right, what's next?
Next one is John Krasinski as Captain America.
Wow. I forgot about this one. God, I didn't realize he was actually nearly cast. I mean, I cannot to this day imagine anyone else other than Chris Evans as Captain America. I love Chris Evans that much that, yes, I would have. He's on the list. But like, I think it's interesting that this comes up. So let's do a little spoiler alert here.
Okay.
Can we do a spoiler alert, Zane?
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Skip on ahead, like, by 2 minutes? Let's give you 2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes. So, guys, fair warnings, spoilers for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. John Krasinski is the perfect casting as Reed Richards, and I'm so happy that they've done that. They better not. I think that's why we didn't see Tom Cruise, by the way, as Iron Man, because I think they want to consistently keep the same actors across the multiverse.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because if you notice about it, with the exception of like Captain Marvel, but even Maria Rambeau was still the same actress. Maria Rambeau was the same actress. Peggy was the same actress. And I think that's why Tom Cruise wasn't Iron Man in this, because they couldn't get RDJ back, and so he is perfect as Reed Richards. He is absolutely perfect as Reed Richards, and I was so happy to see it. I can't see him as Captain America. I just can't. It wouldn't have worked out. He especially at this time as well, because this would have been right off The Office. Yeah. So he's Jim, and it's like, it's too, no, it just wouldn't have worked. There's been enough time now between The Office and now for him to be Reed Richards, but like, because obviously we've had Jack Ryan and we've had The Quiet Place. He's established enough away from The Office, but at this time, I can't have seen this working. Can you?
I think I could.
Really?
I think it could have worked. Like, he just has. I think the thing about Captain America is that he's very empathetic. And I think that's what comes across in Chris Evans' performances quite a lot, is that it's always about the human connection. As weird as that sounds, but it's always about, his interactions with Bucky, with Sam, with, the girl he has coffee with in Avengers. It's always
Sharon Carter.
Not Sharon Carter, but there's that girl who's like, Captain America saved my life.
Oh yeah, the waitress. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with you that he's all about the people connection. He's always about doing the right thing. That's what Cap's all about. Like, and what he believes in. That's the core principle of it, and believes he's doing the right thing. And that's the main element of it.
Yeah.
I think Evans' portrayal as Captain America was exactly what it needed for this universe, though, because he was, and I don't think we're denying that. Like, I think he's incredible.
Absolutely.
I just think that Krasinski's too. What's the right word? He's too tall. He's too tall, Zane. Just wasn't a word. That's all there is to it. That's it. No, I just can't. I can't. Obviously, it's difficult because obviously the same with Iron Man. I can't picture anyone else as Iron Man now. But I just feel like he would have. I don't think he would have been able to do it justice at that time. You ask him to do it today, with no prior Captain America. Yeah, he'd knock it out of the park. He'd be amazing. But at the time, I just think it wouldn't. I don't think it would have worked. I think he needed to go through Jack Ryan to establish himself as an action guy for it to get to there. But it's an interesting thought, though, isn't it?
Yeah. What could have been? This is an interesting lineup. So I know we've spoken in the past on the podcast about Emily Blunt as Black Widow.
Yes,
and that almost happened.
It didn't almost happen. It was like she was cast. Like it was like she was Black Widow. And then it was like a scheduling thing, wasn't it?
Scheduling conflicts led to Scarlett Johansson portraying the role.
So she was supposed to be. She was up for the role of Peggy Carter as well. I assume that's just because she's a British female actress. Everyone must have. Captain Marvel's an interesting one. I didn't realize that she was up for she was the fan casting for Captain Marvel.
Me neither. I didn't realize that. But there we go. So it's interesting that, there's all these roles that Emily Blunt could have played at one point.
So Emily Blunt as Black Widow, I can 100% see that. Like, I can get behind that 100%. Like, she would have been great as Black Widow. Because, like, as far as, like, physical appearance is concerned, I apologize for basing it just on physical appearance out there, guys, but Emily Blunt looks a lot more like Black Widow in the comics than Scarlett Johansson does. 100% she does. If you look at some of those Black Widow comics from, like, the 2000s, 2010s, like, it looks exactly like Emily Blunt. Like, she looks like if she had red hair, it would be her. So it was a really fantastic casting. I would have loved to have seen her in it as well. I just would have loved to have seen that version of Black Widow. Not to say there's anything wrong with Scarlett Johansson's portrayal, because I think she's done an amazing job with it. But I definitely would have liked to have seen it. It's interesting because I felt like when Black Widow appeared in Iron Man 2, I felt like it was a weird, like, out of place thing. Like, she didn't seem to, like, fit in with it. It just felt like, oh, that's quite out of place. All right, good. This is what we're doing. And it's interesting when you look back on it and realize that she wasn't the first choice. It was clearly written for a different kind of person.
What I find interesting as well is that, let's say, for example, Tom Cruise was Iron Man and Emily Blunt was Black Widow. They would have, like, that dynamic again from Edge of Tomorrow.
I knew you were going to bring that film up, but you're not, like, you're not thinking about the time. Like, think about this, right? So, Edge of Tomorrow came out in what, like 2017?
Did it?
This was like 2008, dude. This is like.
I feel like it was older than that.
No, Edge of Tomorrow was not. It's not. I'll find. Hang on. I'll find out. 1 second. Please, everyone, just take it easy. 2014. 2014. Okay, so I wasn't too
2014.
far off.
Okay, yeah.
But like, yeah, like think about it. Like 2014. That's 6 years after Iron Man.
Yeah.
That is 4 years after Iron Man 2.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is no Edge of Tomorrow dynamic in those days.
Yeah.
She would have just done the Replacement Bureau or whatever it was with Matt Damon. The one about the weird like aliens in suits and stuff like that taking over the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Tom Cruise was just off of his marriage with Katie Holmes, wasn't he, in 2008? So, like, you've got to think,
which was yes, because Batman Begins would have been
2005.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise are still together then.
Okay, so the Adjustment Bureau, that's what I was thinking of. That was 2011.
Right.
So Looper, she was in Looper.
Oh.
I forgot that she was in Looper. And then, yeah, she did Edge of Tomorrow in 2014. Prior to getting cast for Iron Man 2, she was in The Devil Wears Prada, which is a big movie, even though I'm not necessarily with it. She was in a lot of like weird stuff, actually. Well, not necessarily weird stuff, but just stuff I don't know about. Jane Austen Book Club, I know that was a huge movie in 2007. Charlie Wilson's War, that was another big movie.
Right.
Then she did a load of other weird things. The Young Victoria, she was Queen Victoria in that. She did The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro.
Oh.
And that was around the time that she must have been cast for Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been it. This one's a miss, man. This one's a sad miss because I would have loved to have seen her as Black Widow. I really would have. I think she would have been amazing. You know, when you look at her, just her physique and her appearance, like she fits much more in with that kind of like Russian ballerina, like just on looks alone. And I know I'm basing it on looks alone, and I apologize for that, guys. I'm sorry, but you know, it's just at the time, she would have been great as it. I think Scarlett Johansson did a great job with it, but I would have liked to have seen this. As far as Peggy Carter and Captain Marvel's concerned, Peggy Carter, no way. Like, there's nobody else who can do it other than Hayley Atwell. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mommy Atwell. Captain Marvel is... I struggle to care about Captain Marvel, so you can talk about that for a bit, Zane.
Okay. What's there to say about Captain Marvel? It's cool. Like, and to be fair, Brie Larson is a cool person. Like, she's, you know, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and she's a very cool character in that. Outside of her roles, you know, she plays a lot of Nintendo Switch. I like Brie Larson. I think she's a cool person. I think
Brie Larson gets pooped on a lot, but I think she's actually a pretty all right person.
Yeah,
and I think it's a shame that people, you know, have to attribute so much negative things with celebrity. Sometimes I think that's a shame, but
absolutely,
but yeah. All right, what's next?
The next one. This one really surprised me. Zoe Deschanel as the Wasp.
I did not expect that one.
I know, right?
Interesting. Oh, this was in the Avengers as well. This wasn't even in Ant-Man and Wasp. This was the Joss Whedon casting.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Wow, that's wild.
For those who are not familiar with Zoe Deschanel, I guess her most popular work is New Girl, the sitcom.
Yes.
Where she plays Jess. With the glasses and the bangs, but would have been cast as the Wasp to Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
That's crazy. But Paul Rudd wasn't. No, that can't have been. No, it can't.
Well, he wouldn't have been cast yet.
No. Yeah. Like if it was, how can you have the Wasp before you have Ant-Man? God, Whedon, what were you doing? Like, oh, that's really weird. That's really weird. I don't like that. I mean, I don't mind the casting. I bet looking back on it now, they wish they'd cast Zooey Deschanel based on what Evangeline Lilly's been coming out with lately. But there you go. Her Instagram feed's very interesting, guys, as far as vaccines are concerned, and that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Zooey Deschanel, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I'd go for that. That's a good casting.
Yeah, it's more the well. Here's my hot take. I guess I can't get that kooky character. Like, I can't detach the kooky character from the actress. So when it comes to like the fight sequences, I know Zooey Deschanel can be charming, and like that's really a great part to Hope Van Dyke sort of character. But Van Dyne, sorry.
Not, you're thinking of Dick Van Dyke's kid.
Yeah.
This is interesting because this is the problem I had with Krasinski as Captain America.
Yeah.
I can't get away from if it had been at that time, I wouldn't have been able to get away from him as Jim. And you can't get away from her in New Girl. It's interesting, isn't it? Is that headspace? Looking back on this now, I can totally see her as the Wasp. I think that would be great. I think that'd be amazing. Recast. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Do you
want another one?
Yeah, give us another one. Come on.
Patrick Wilson is Yellow Jacket.
Interesting. Now, I will say this. I adore Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
I think he's great. I think he's fantastic in Watchmen. He's one of the best things about it as Owlman. I think
and Aquaman.
He's also been Aquaman as well. He doesn't get so much to do in Aquaman because he's just a bit of a shouty villain. He's actually I'll tell you what, he's actually really good in. I mean, the film qualities themselves are not the best, but he's really good in The Conjuring.
I've heard that.
The horror films. Yeah, he's really good in it. Like, he's a great actor. Like, he's excellent.
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket, though, Corey Stoll, I can't pronounce his name, was very good as Aaron Cross because there wasn't much to work with, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, there's been rumors that Yellow Jacket's coming back for Quantumania.
Okay.
He's just quite a one-dimensional kind of like, well, he's just a mix of Tony Stark and Ant-Man. You know, that's what he is, you know. So no, I'm not disappointed with this one. I'm glad that Patrick Wilson wasn't wasted because now you could bring him in as someone else. You know, like there's nothing to stop him coming in as another character. He wouldn't. You know what? He's not a bad shout for Doctor Doom.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean? Like that handsome man behind the mask, but it's like he's all disfigured behind the mask. I think he has the chops to pull it off as well. Yeah. Without a doubt. I think he'd be pretty good.
I do agree with you though. Like if he was cast for this role, I think he'd be wasted because, you know, at this point we know Marvel is kind of a one and done with certain villains at this point. Like, yeah. I think he'd been super wasted.
I think you look at the again. It's a case of look at the time. At the time of Ant-Man, Corey Stoll had been in House of Cards as a senator. He never really had a huge break in anything. Yeah, and I'm not pooing on Corey Stoll at all. I think Corey Stoll's a great actor. He's fantastic in Billions as well, by the way. Season 6 of Billions. It's not as good as it was in the first 3 series, but Corey Stoll is excellent in Season 6, and he's a fantastic actor. And I think he did great with the role. But I think with Marvel villains at that stage, I think they were in a case of like stepping stones, where it's like you either had a villain who was an actor who was a really well-known actor who they were bringing into this to support maybe a lesser-known casting. So, you know, you think about Chris Evans as Captain America was quite unproven. So they put in Hugo Weaving because Hugo Weaving was a big-time star as Red Skull, and then they just, you know, pinned him off. And like, but like Ant-Man, it was kind of a flip of like, well, Paul Rudd's a massive star. Michael Douglas is a humongous star. Yeah. why don't we just put in a slightly unknown person as the unknown villain? And it worked. I think Patrick Wilson has more to offer, and I at that time he'd just done Watchmen. I think he had just done the first Conjuring film as well when Ant-Man was around. So
okay,
I think he'd also done not Sinister. What's the other one? There was another horror film that he'd done, because he's done quite a few horror movies.
Are they all James Wan horror movies?
It was a James Wan. One, yeah, a James Wan one. Why did he come up? No, that's not who I wanted to type in. Sorry. Just give me 1 sec, and I will find out who that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see him as a Doctor Doom, man. Insidious, that was the one. That was it. He'd been in Insidious.
Insidious.
That was the one. Yes. Yeah. So. Oh, I didn't know he was in Prometheus as well. Did you know that?
I can't remember.
Fair enough. Anyway, moving on.
Do you wanna Wise as Maria Rambeau?
DeWanda Wise.
I wasn't familiar with this actress. Sorry.
You've turned into a character from Star Wars there. I think it was Jabba, Miwana Wonga. Yes, DeWanda Wise as Maria Rambeau. Yes. This is interesting because she was cast. She was in She's Gotta Have It, hasn't she?
Say that again,
yes.
sorry.
She was in the show She's Gotta Have It. That's what she's been in.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, God. Here's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maria Rambeau is a great character in the books. Maria Rambeau was just basically used as an establishing character for Brie Larson's Captain Marvel and for the introduction of Monica Rambeau, her daughter, as Spectrum.
Yeah.
That's why Maria Rambeau basically exists in the MCU. I'm not necessarily bothered about the fact that it was recast. I don't think the role was necessarily meaty enough. It's very cool to see her appear in future MCU stuff.
Got it.
No spoilers. But yeah, I think I'm not. This one is the part isn't, again, it's the same as like kind of Ant-Man, where it's like the part isn't really meaty enough to warrant any kind of like care about the recasting. It's kind of more just like oh yeah, cool, fair enough.
Yeah, agreed. Unless it was like, as you mentioned, unless it was going down the Photon path, then
Photon or Spectrum? I
think Photon came first, and then Spectrum, as you say,
was Maria Photon, and then Monica's Spectrum.
I believe so.
We're doing the typing. We're doing the type, guys. It's all happening.
Fact checking tonight.
We have to get these facts right. The undies, that's our Undisputed Nerds fandom. They will come down on us hard if we do not fact check this.
Oh, maybe it was Monica.
I thought it was Monica, yeah. You like that, Zane? You like that thing I've coined now? Undies?
Yeah.
It could be used to describe either this or Undisputed Anime. The fans of the show.
All the fans. Let's have a look at the next one.
All right. That lady, by the way, she's going to be in Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion. That lady who is recast. Yeah, DeWanda Wise. It actually says it in the article. It literally says it at the bottom there. Yeah, she's going to be in Dominion. So we'll see what her acting chops are like there. I think this is a case of she's an unknown kind of thing, just from She's Gotta Have It, and then, it's a shame that it couldn't work out.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't have we almost didn't have Chris Pratt as Star-Lord.
Glenn Howerton. Who the hell is Glenn Howerton? Right, I need to look him up because I have no idea who this guy is. I would like to say, by the way,
Hmm.
he's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia guy. That's who he is. Ah. Wow. Oh my God. He's been in some things. Holy crap.
Give us
This guy's been in a lot of stuff, Zane. So, okay, so he was in that 80s show, which was the follow-up to that 70s show.
Okay.
He was in Serenity.
Oh.
He's been in Crank, the Jason Statham vehicle.
Okay.
He was in The Strangers, which is one of the most horrible horror movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be disturbed, then watch that. He's in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's been in it since basically the start. He was in Fargo, the TV series. I think that's the second season, possibly the third.
Okay. Did he play as the leader in the Hulk movie?
The Hulk movie? No, that's not him. You're thinking of someone else.
Okay.
You're talking about the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
No, that's a different guy. Interesting. No to this one. No.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, right? People are really like getting on Chris Pratt's case lately about like his beliefs and his religion and that kind of thing. Like, just stop, guys. Like, you know what? Like, I mean, seriously. Like, I don't look. I'm not a religious person myself, but like, if people want to believe in stuff and people want their own beliefs, as long as they're not hurting anyone with it or damaging things, who gives a monkeys what he believes in? Like, there's been multiple people who have come out, including Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson, who have all said he's lovely, leave him alone. Like, just get over it. He's great as Star-Lord. Like, like Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. Well, first of all, Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec is one of the most amazing. Andy Dwyer is one of the most amazing characters ever. Secondly, his performance as Star-Lord holds that whole first film together.
Absolutely.
It really does. And I don't care what anyone says about Zoe Saldana and everyone else leading it or anything like that. Chris Pratt is it, man. Like, he's the thing that's good. And I feel like all of this hate has just come from that stupid decision from, like, Avengers Infinity War, where he punches Thanos in the face and stops it. It's like, yeah, okay, but, like, you try being told that the person who you love and most in the world is dead right in front of you, and this is the guy who did it, and try not to react.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, just, dudes, just like, Chris Pratt's great. Chris Pratt is great as Star-Lord, and we are going to regret it when Chris Pratt is not Star-Lord anymore. So maybe just give the guy a break, for God's sake. This is there's no way I could see anyone apart from Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. So no. Thoughts?
Agreed. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I can't imagine anyone else really to have that same sort of like comedic cue and just bring so much to what was a C-list comic book character. Like, when this movie came out, it blew up massively, like beyond anyone's imagination. To Christmas toys, like Groot was like the #1 selling Christmas toy that year, to all sorts. Like, it is, and like you said, it's credit to all of his personality. He put so much into the role that just adds to the movie more than anything.
Yeah, he made dorky cool.
He made dancing cool.
Yeah, and like, I know that there's been a lot of stuff about his like private life with his ex-partner Anna Faris and their children, and you know, there's been a lot of controversy about like comments that he's made with his new wife, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, which still kind of weirds me out.
Yeah,
but like,
I know.
just, you know, that personal lives are personal lives for a reason. And you can't judge people on, like, you know, judge him on his body of work instead of on his personal life, because we're not perfect. None of us are. And it's that way, you know, that way madness lies. So just kind of move on from it. But yeah, no, sorry, Glenn, you need to find something else in the MCU. He'd also be quite like his his facial features are really striking. Like he'd be good as like an Annihilus or like a Galactus, even like just
For a
facially
second
speaking.
there, I thought you were going to say Doctor Doom, and I'm like, this isn't like your casting list for Doctor Doom. Like,
yeah, everyone would be good as Doctor Doom. That's what I want to see. I want to see.
I want to
every
see
single
him
actor.
as Doctor Doom.
I'm thinking of a famous doctor. I'll give you a clue. He wasn't in ER.
There's this character in a fictional place called Latveria.
When I see Glenn Howerton, I'm thinking the name Victor. I'm trying to think of what. No, this is not just every fan cast is Doctor Doom. No, we already know what my perfect A grade fan casting for Doctor Doom is, don't we?
We do, and we did an episode.
Go on.
So
go on, tell me.
You can always check that out. It's Mads Mikkelsen.
Of course it is. See,
yeah,
the man knows me, just like I know he's the love child of Michael Bay and Zack Snyder.
Talking of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh. Seyfried as Gamora. Interesting. So this is Amanda Seyfried as Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So Amanda Seyfried, famous for Mamma Mia, pretty much. Although she's been in a lot of other things, but that's probably her most well-known role.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one's hard, man. That's
tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. God. So she was actually cast. She actually got the offer.
Yeah, dropped out, revealed that she turned down the big superhero part and indicated it would be...
would have required her to be green for 6 months out of every year. I don't think that's necessarily true. Huh. That's very interesting. I love Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Although I will say I don't know whether this. I think this is more an indictment of the writing rather than Zoe Saldana herself. Gamora is like touted as being the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. Like in the books, like that's what she's all about, and she is lethal. Like the whole idea is she's a lethal warrior. I don't know if that comes across a lot of the time in Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like it doesn't. And I don't know whether that's just because Zoe Saldana is so likable. You know, I don't know what it is. This one's another on the fence for me. I could see either of them in that role, bearing in mind what we know the role to be like now. And also Guardians was very unknown at the time as well. So as you said, so yeah, I can kind of see that. What's more interesting is thoughts on who Amanda Seyfried could be today.
Now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've got two thoughts.
Go on.
Either if they don't cast Emily Blunt, her as Invisible Woman,
Sue Storm.
Or this could be my raison d'etre, Zane. dye her hair red, Jean Grey.
Yeah. See, I was thinking Emma Frost, but I guess it's because she's blonde already.
The only reason I wouldn't cast her as Emma Frost is that Emma Frost is more. This is no
Frosty.
indictment on Amanda. No, this is no indictment on Amanda Seyfried, and I apologize for making it sound like this. But Emma Frost is more like buxomely beautiful kind of thing. You know, Emma Frost is like a striking beauty of like, oh my god, and then you realize that she can do all this other stuff. Whereas Jean Grey is like beautiful, but like very like cerebrally as well. Like cerebral. I would believe her more as like a cerebral beauty than I would as a, you know, bombshell.
You're saying like Girl Next Door sort of.
Yes. Like remember when January Jones was cast as Emma Frost?
Yeah.
Like that makes sense, even though she wasn't great in the role.
Yeah,
like that makes sense. Where I can see Amanda Seyfried more as like a Girl Next Door kind of beauty with Jean Grey kind of thing. Personally speaking, but guys, I appreciate that. Guys and girls, I appreciate that. I'm probably a chauvinist pig by saying these things, and I apologize profusely. You know, these are just my warped mind in the world. But you know, all I'll say is Zane's agreeing with me. So who's actually the warped one?
I'm just not much of an alpha.
Oh, that's getting clipped. Oh man, can we just edit that there and have that as a little audio drop on Undisputed Nerds? Zane Tide Show going, I'm just not much of an alpha. That's on. We've been talking about marketing designs for T-shirts and stuff like that. That's got to be the next one. Your face on the front with "I'm just not an alpha" on the back. That's what we need to get. Brilliant. Have we got any more of these?
I think there's a couple left. We're getting close to the end. Jason Momoa's Drax.
Meh. I would say to that one. I love Momoa. I love me a bit of the old Momo. You know that. I know you love a bit of Momo. He's basically what you've based your life on, isn't it?
Why do you keep saying that? Is it because of the beard and hair?
No, it's just because you want to be as cool as Jason Momoa. I know you do.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have said anything until you took up axe throwing. That's what took it over the edge for me.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. When you started swimming with dolphins and stuff, that's when I was like, oh man, this guy's taking it way too far.
Riding old motorcycles, drinking Guinness.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know with this one, man. I don't know. Like, Dave Bautista's just perfect as Drax, but I think here's the thing, right? If they'd have done, if they had done the Drax that's in the comic books, then yes, Jason Momoa would have been fantastic as Drax, and I could see that a lot. They haven't done the Drax that's in the comic books. This Drax is a jokey muscle man Drax. Like that's basically what he is. And I love Dave Bautista, but like he doesn't get a lot to do in the Guardians films. He really doesn't. When you think about how good he is in some of these other, some of the other work that he's done, even Blade Runner 2049, he's incredible in the opening
really
of Blade
good.
Runner 2049.
Yeah,
he's so good in that. I've heard nothing but good things about him in June because I still haven't seen June, but apparently he's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't he?
Well, it's a play by numbers, I'd say. Like, again, it doesn't. There's not an awful lot of scenes with him in June, so
right. Okay, possibly in the sequel. Then we'll see.
Yeah.
If it had been the the Drax from the comics where he punches a hole through Thanos, then yeah, I can see Momoa doing that. But I think this I guess this casting's the right casting for what it is.
Absolutely. I think
who would you like to see Momoa as
in the MCU?
Yeah.
Maybe Null, the symbiote god.
Oh wow. Yeah, Null. Yeah, of course. Wow, that's a out of field one that I was left of field one that I was not expecting. Yeah. Wow,
He'd be a great,
that would be really good.
He'd be a great Craven. Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, you're right. You got it right, and then corrected yourself with the right thing anyway. What was that all about?
I thought I said the snack. Like. Those like packets of chicken or whatever it is.
He'd be a great Craven. No, wait, Craven. Yeah, Craven.
Yeah, it is Craven. Yeah, I'm Craven.
Yeah,
but no, yeah, I think Noel would be cool.
You're kind of set. You're turning it into Noel now. You're like turning it into like the lead singer of Oasis, Noel. It's Null. Like
no.
I think it's a silent K. Sorry, a silent say, a silent K. I sometimes call him Knull, but I think it is just Null.
Like Knuckles,
I guess it's
isn't it? Like it's spelled with a K, but it's Knuckles.
Well, yeah, and it's also supposed to be like Null, like the void, like a void of space, because he's the symbiote god of darkness. So, yeah, that's really tickled me, that one. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
because you don't in the comic books, Nala's this kind of almost vampiric looking, like white haired, like creature, I guess. But man, yeah, Momoa could if he made his hair white, like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like that would be really good. I like that a lot. You've really hit my bones on that one, Zane. I like that casting a lot. Undies, if you're out there listening, we need to get that fan casting going around. So spread the word, yeah?
Heard it here first.
Exactly.
This is a weird one.
This is a joke, mate.
This
is not real. There's no way this is real. Go on, say it out.
Pee Wee Herman?
Paul Rubens, yes, otherwise known as Pee Wee Hermans, cast as Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why this is a joke is if you look at the article, it's James Gunn talking about casting in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. He also cites Paulie Shaw as well as Paul Rubens. And I'm like, I can tell you right now categorically, this is a joke.
Yeah, this is a joke. But it's funny.
We talked about Paulie Shaw for a long time, Gunn revealed. It didn't seem to be great. He wanted too much money. We talked a lot to Paul Rubens. He didn't seem to be Thanos. Then we came to Josh Brolin. I think he seems to fit more in than those other two guys. They picked the right thing. That is it. That is it. Yeah, no to Pee Wee Herman as Thanos. No, I can't see that. Stiltman, yes, I can see that, but Thanos, no. Interesting. Yeah, certainly some of those took me by surprise. As far as the almost list. Yeah, wow. Well, who's some of your guys' favorites from DC or Marvel who were almost cast? Would you like to see any of these actors who were almost cast as something new in the Marvel Universe, as we've been suggesting? Write into us and let us know. Zane, where can they get hold of us?
They can get hold of us by email, nerdsundisputed@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, undisputed_nerds on both platforms. We've also got a Facebook page. Check out our Facebook page for all the latest things going on at Undisputed Nerds. And of course, subscribe to the channel, our YouTube channel. Ring that notification bell so every time we post, you know we're here.
Yeah, why not? Say hello. Brilliant. I don't know what we're doing next week, Zane. What are we doing next week? Do we even know yet?
I don't think we know just yet, but all the things that I mentioned will be in the description down below, so you can find all the relevant links, including a link to Surfshark VPN.
Yeah, so go and check that out. Yeah. And, you can find me, by the way, on Instagram @GentlemanlyGamer. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GentlemanlyGamer, where I stream sometimes when I'm feeling like it, but, it's me, so I'm lazy, and I just did Outlast this week, Outlast Whistleblower. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, I might try and start doing some more horror-y stuff on my channel, I think. Get some more scares going, Zane. I like to be scared and then consoled by you, hugging in your arms. So that's good. All right. Well, whatever we do next week, guys, you stay funky and fresh out there.
Absolutely. Make sure to give us a star rating on your favorite podcast platform. And we'll no doubt catch you next week on the latest episode of Undisputed Nerds Podcast.
And if you didn't know that's what the name of the podcast is, now you do. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.